confidence is that pride is comparison in nature. You never become proud until you think you're better than somebody else. You see, confidence is different from pride. Confidence is knowing what you carry. Confidence is knowing who you are, what you carry. Okay? Pride is you thinking that other people are not as good as you. It's thinking that you're better than somebody else. That's pride. So pride can be found in a driver who drives an official Prado Jeep and is looking down at somebody who owns a Toyota Corolla. He, the driver, does not own a car, doesn't own an Okada, but he's driving something that he thinks is better than this other guy, and he begins to associate himself with what he's driving and says, I am better than you because I am in a better car than you. And yet, he doesn't own it, but he becomes arrogant. Drivers even, from my understanding, one of my drivers said, the guys that drive the nicest cars when they are in a car park where maybe, you know, like where a lot of people have come and parked, the guys that drive Jeeps come together, they stay together. So that's pride. Pride is where you think that you're better than somebody else. I have come to learn two things. Number one, through my life, that where you are is not where you're going. Okay. And I look at a lot of people who had so much more than I had a few years ago. And I remember one of them saying to me, I don't even see a brick light. Okay. So it tells me don't judge a person by where they currently are because they're just going through it. They're not yet where they're going. Okay? So don't ever look down on anybody. Because in the twinkle of an eye, yours may not become worse, but theirs could become so significantly better. So I would guard against it. And I've looked at a few other people's lives. The house that is next to ours, we moved into this place in 2006. Harris? 2006. All right. We moved in 2006, November. When I moved in, the guy who was the security man to this house, this next house, his landlord lives abroad. And the last time the guy came back to Nigeria before 2008 was 5 years before, so maybe he left in 2003. For a while, he had not been paying this guy's salary, but the guy was faithful and remained there. His name is Yusuf. So, by the time I came here, Yusuf had not had light or power for almost 4 years. Because VGC cuts off your light once you don't pay your bill. And since the guy had not been around, they cut off his light. So when I got here, Yusuf came to ask me if there was any way that they could power his house. So I asked them to go and check to see, what the implication would be on my power. And it turns out Yusuf had nothing but just a fan. That was all he had. And he had his wife, his wife and his fan there. His wife wasn't consuming power, only the fan was. Okay. and then just the bulb, yeah? This, mark my words, is 2006 November. So I say, hook up, Yusuf, pass a wire across from here. And they pass a wire to Yusuf, so Yusuf has light and a fan working. So Yusuf comes to meet me to say thank you, and he just bows down and says, sir, you don't know what you've done. And as I said to him, please, no, rise. God said to me, you don't know who is bowing before you. What? He said, tell him that I said that by this time next year, even the people that know him will not recognize business. Okay. Okay, all right. Yusuf, God said I should tell you that by this time next year, even the people who know you will not recognize you. He said, amen. I said, Yusuf, you don't understand what I'm saying. Just so that you don't just think he's any God. Jesus said I should tell you. He said, sir, I believe. Thank you very much. So, I leave the matter. Soon, around December, January, some Asian guys had moved down the road. So Yusuf, in his same way, like just like when I came here, he came to greet me, always ask me, I hope you don't need anything, is there anything I can help you with? I'd gone to those guys and just said, oh, I hope you're okay, do I need anything? And those guys said, well, actually, yeah, we're coming in, we just set up a business to bring in armored cars. We hear that there's going to be an opportunity because there's an election coming in 2007. And people typically get assassinated, so armored cars will become very heavy market. So, okay, so is there anything I can help you guys with? Yeah, go and make photocopy of this thing. So Yusuf will go, make photocopy, don't give him anything, and as everything they asked him to do, he would do. And before we realized it, you know, these guys were bringing in their first batch of armored cars. So they would go to the port, maybe they're waiting for something to happen. When they're tired, they'll say, okay, Yusuf, you wait here. Let's go. When this thing help us, you know, before we knew it, Yusuf had become literally a worker for these guys. Then one of them said to Yusuf, you know, do you know anybody that can buy these cars? Yusuf says, I'm not sure. He says, if you know anybody that can buy these cars, we'll give you a 5% commission. You said, for real? Yes. How much are the cars? 24 million. Wow, okay. 5% commission, 1.2 million. Okay, so Yusuf, yeah. So Yusuf speaks to a few people. Yusuf, he's just so networked in VGC. Because everybody knows his story. This guy who's remained faithful to a boss that has not paid his salary for 3 years. Everybody knows him. Even before I moved here, I had heard about Yusuf. My workmen knew about Yusuf. Faithful man. So, you know, if I spoke to one person, I'll say, 24 million, Land Cruiser Jeep, bulletproof, sounds like a good deal. Bam, bought the first one. The guys wrote Yusuf a check, 1.2 million naira. Before, by May 2007, every time I think the elections are done, that are taking place, Yusuf must have sold 20, 25. Those cars. Let me put it this way. By November 2007, Yusuf had gotten a house by the waterfront.
Wow.
Yusuf had a house. In that 1 year, Yusuf bought 2 Toyota Corollas, sold it off, bought RAV4s, sold it off, bought... when this Yusuf's Oga finally came home towards the end of December, Yusuf had gotten somebody else that he was paying his salary. So the guy that took over from Yusuf was the one paying the guy's salary as a guy. When his Oga came home, his Oga needed to clear some cars, and he didn't have money. Yusuf gave his Oga money to clear the cars. One of the cars was a Range Rover. January 2008, the man was trying to sell the Range Rover because he desperately needed money. Yusuf said, okay, you know what? I'll give you 8 million naira and take the car, I'll sell it. Just because you need money. January 2008, Yusuf gave the person that had not paid him money